Yes, good evening.
Counsel, I hope you're well.
Yes, I'm well. I'm
Awesome,
well.
awesome. Counsel, so the president has given reasons or the rationale behind his decision not to assent to the two bills in question. The speaker says he vehemently disagrees with the president, and he ends by saying that the power of parliament will not be taken away by any exemptive authority. Is this what is being done with the president's decision or rationale for his decision not to assent to the two bills?
Yes, I would think that there is something wrong with the president coming too late in the day to say that he's not able to assent because this imposes a charge on the consolidated fund. So the question is that at the time he was signing the first one, he signed the first death penalty law. The death penalty laws are two. There is the one that has to do with the Act 29, which he has already signed. When I say Act 29, that's the Criminal Offences Act. He signed that one. Then there's the one that is the Armed Forces Law, Act 104. That's the one he didn't sign. That one together with the witches camp, this hatred against witches, blah, blah, blah. That's why he didn't sign. So the thing that my first thought on the matter is that, that's something that the president signed 6 months ago or thereabout, July, right? Yeah, that law was passed in July. It beggars believe that he could now come back after several months to now say, no, he doesn't think that's the right thing to do. Yes, of course, I acknowledge that we all make mistakes and sometimes we can go back. But I don't think this is one of those because what extra charge is there? You see, this is the same thinking that anything parliamentarians do may be imposing a charge on the consolidated fund. That's with respect to private members' bill, like Susu did. That is why for a long time, private members weren't, that private members' bill was not being allowed until Speaker Okwe rose to the occasion and said, no, he would allow private members' bill to go through, right? So the president has to come along with parliament. He has to come along with parliament. That look, some of these things, we shouldn't unnecessarily drag matters. This death penalty thing, what difference has it brought? I would look at it this way. Before the law changed, these death penalty inmates or convicts were kept there for, this is what you call it, so let's say minimum 20 years on death row. Then after death row, they will now be sent to life imprisonment, okay? And then also the president's exercise under the Constitution, one of the articles, is it 75 or so? I'm not sure of the article number, but under the Constitution, the president can give a prerogative of mercy, so he can pardon, etc. Then the president could pardon. My point is that what Parliament did has not imposed anything extra. The people, since 1993, we've not been executing them. Since 1993. So what they've done, they've not imposed any extra charge. I've not seen any extra charge. It's just the old system that they've just rechristened. We've not been executing them. So, but the thing is that the death row is, from its name, death row, it was what do you call it? Torture. Because when you're on death row, the first 20 years, you are not allowed to mingle with people well. Sunlight is regulated, so many other things. So for me, that's the reason I supported the death penalty. And as far as I brought that idea, the one Honorable Susu used to get the first law passed. I said, let's amend Act 29. And of course, earlier on, the Supreme Court had also said they also think Act 29 is the way to go if you want to deal with the death penalty, because amending the Constitution is expensive. You need a referendum, blah, blah. You need to campaign to persuade people, blah, blah, blah. So the point is that people have not been executing, not killing since 1993. If we make a law that simply says, now life imprisonment, it's not any extra charge. It's not.
Well, if the amendments will really not bring any extra charge, then is that to say the president's reasoning or the rationale is not tangible?
Absolutely. That is why he himself signed the first one with alacrity. signed it quickly. He was very happy to sign the first one. It's something he himself, his administration couldn't do. He wasn't willing to do it. You know, what happened was that we went to meet the president earlier on, sometime 2018 or 2019, not long after then COVID struck. So we did a presentation with Amnesty International. I did a presentation to the president that, look, we can amend the Act 29, what Honorable Susu used to do. The president nodded in admiration. The Attorney General then was President Gloria Kufu, and then Ambrose Derry, Interior Minister. All of them said, okay, we'll do it. I know executive, so many things, they never did it. So Susu came, and then he took it and did it. And the president was happy that, at least private members' bill has resulted. So he signed the first one. He signed it joyously. So I think that this thing he's doing, he's drawing our democracy back. No. He said he signed the first one. It's been implemented, right? So how are you now withdrawing? Oh, no, it's not a good thing. He should just go back. These things, he should go back. The president, it's like 2 steps forward, then he's taking 5 steps back. He shouldn't do that. He should just, sign these things, let's go.
The president, in his letter to the speaker, says that the bill may need to be reintroduced to Parliament on his behalf, emphasis on his behalf. Could this suggest that the challenge is with the private members' bill?
Not really. I doubt it. The reason I said this and I doubt it is that we did this presentation, and then Susu and Amnesty also went. He was happy and he signed this. Well, I have said it. My point is that it does really, sometimes it's like just raising red herrings. I really don't see the point. This is something you should have done long ago. We went and did this presentation to him in 2019. I went with Amnesty International. We did this and he was happy. He didn't do much. We followed up a few times. It didn't work. And then, thank God, Honorable Susu was brought like an angel to us. Then he came and held the work I had this and done, the analysis and everything I did. And then he used it to do a private member's bill. With this president, you were very happy about it. And then now, after that thing happened in July, about 25th July or so. So about 6 months down the line, you want to do a U-turn.
Well, Council, for purposes of education, what really is this amendment seeking to do so that we can better appreciate whether or not it will have a financial implication on the consolidated fund or otherwise?
So it's the case that we have mainly Section 46 in the Criminal Offences Act, then Sections 49, genocide, and then other offenses in the Criminal Offences Act. The Criminal Offences Act is an act that has defines and lists a lot of the crimes we have in Ghana. So among them, this 46, 49A, etc., smuggling of gold, murder, treason, piracy, these were offenses that if a person committed them and the person was investigated and charged in court and found guilty, the punishment in the law books, the same Act 29, was that these convicts should also be killed, that's executed. And we have different ways of executing. Under the law, Act 30, another law, it can be by lethal injection, etc., right? But we since 1993, we've not been executing them. So it means that in practice, we are abolitionists since 1993. But as I mentioned earlier, it's a case that even though we don't execute them, once the person is convicted and taken to Sawam, there's a place they call condemned cells. Even from his name, condemned. So they are condemned. The conditions there are harsh. That's torture. So that's even the main reason I came on board to help stop death penalty because of the conditions in Sawam. Because when Amnesty International first came to me that I should help in their bid to abolish the death penalty, I was telling them that since 1993 we've not been killing. Our democracy is now strong. No president can do that. But later, as the conversation went on, then I remembered condemned cells. Even the few times I have been in Sawam, they don't allow visitors to get inside, to appreciate the conditions. No. When you get to condemned cells, they say, oh, they need extra clearance before they let you see the inside of condemned cells. So it was these condemned cells I remembered that made me come on board. And then we looked for solutions. Then we said, okay, look, if you want to stop death penalty in Ghana, just remove the punishments that are in the same Act 29, the Criminal Offences Act. Remove those punishments instead of death. So let's say, for example, Section 46, which is the section of murder, says that a person who commits murder shall be sentenced to what? Death. So that's a punishment. So if you commit murder and then you are convicted, you shall also suffer death. So remove the death and put life imprisonment. Then you go to Section 49A, the genocide ones and the other ones. Then the same, all of them, remove them and put life imprisonment. So that's the idea I brought upon. This and brought so to amnesty, and then they helped, and then, as I said, we went places with it. And it was bought everywhere. We went to Parliament, everywhere it was bought. Then Honorable Susu took it up. So that is the history of it. To make sure that we do away with the death penalty. The reason we did that thing is that before then, the thinking had been that we should amend Article 13 of the Constitution. Article 13 is also about the death penalty. But to amend Article 13, we need to go through referendum. Referendum means we have to vote nationally to say yes, we agree or no. And to vote nationally, you need a lot of money for the voting itself. And then you need money to campaign. Yes, people, and then they know people also get up and all that. Can you imagine? A lot of money. So we saw that no, Article 13 is almost impossible to amend now. So just go and amend the Act 29, which we did. So when Honorable Susu took the Act 29, as the work went on, then we saw that, there are also provisions in the Armed Forces Law, that's Act 104, where also for the military people, if they commit certain offenses, the punishment is death. So we added the Act 104 to the 29 I had found. And then we did both. Then the president quickly signed the Act 29, the one the civilians used. Then the military was done later. Actually, they were not done the same day. So the civilian one, the Act 29, was done earlier. And the president signed, as I said, with alacrity. And all applauded him that he had done well. At least, you see, in his 7th year, he had been able to find a proper Human Rights Act that will go with the accolade we have been giving him. Because he has not lived up to the billing. But at least, finally, signing the death penalty law, it was a sort of, at least, for one moment, he had lived up to the billing of a human rights lawyer since coming into office. You see, so it's an anticlimax that he has come back to say, no, that's not the right thing and all that.
Counsel, thank you very much for your time this evening.
You're welcome. Good.